All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into a really fascinating world where old school history smacks right into high finance. We're talking about the booming market for antique coins in Japan. I mean, this is an asset class that's getting some serious attention, so let's figure out what's going on here. So, let's start with a big question, one that's probably on your mind too. In an economy that feels, well, pretty uncertain, where is your money actually safe? You know, with inflation chewing away at savings, markets going all over the place, and just general chaos, those traditional safe bets, they don't always feel so safe anymore, do they? Well, for some people, the answer isn't in stocks, it's not in crypto. Nope. It's in something you can literally hold in the palm of your hand. Something with hundreds of years of history baked right into it. Antique coins. Okay, so to really get a handle on this whole trend, you have to understand the guy who's basically at the epicenter of it. His name is Koji Ishiyama, and he's described as the leading figure in Japan's antique coin market. But as you'll see, how he got there, it's a wild ride. I mean, look at this career path. Ishiyama's background is not what you'd expect at all. He spent 20 years, 2 decades, in the super fast-paced world of fashion and marketing. Then he just makes this hard pivot into investing, and he's good at it. He builds a fortune in real estate and foreign exchange, and then he stumbles into antique coins. And in his very first year, he pulls in a staggering 30 million yen in profit. Can you imagine? That discovery just changed everything for him. He went all in, founded his company, Goldcoin, and completely reinvented himself as this public guru. And when I say he's a public figure, I mean he is massive. He's got over 1.25 million subscribers on YouTube alone. But here's what's really telling. He's not just talking about coins, not by a long shot. He covers the whole shebang, politics, economics, and then he veers into spirituality, consciousness, and enlightenment. So he's positioning himself as more than just a finance guy. He's a guide for life. So you gotta ask, how does he get such a huge following? Well, it all boils down to this really powerful, really reassuring investment philosophy. It's a message that just clicks with anyone who's looking for security. And at the very heart of it is a simple, almost unbelievable promise. Antique coins are an asset that, according to him, cannot fail. His core argument is a really simple contrast. Look, in a world with inflation, holding on to cash is basically a losing game, right? Its value is just constantly getting chipped away. But antique coins, he argues, they're the perfect defense. Why? Because they're tangible. They're real assets. You can see them, you can touch them, and their value, he claims, is pretty much destined to go up over time. It's the ultimate way to protect your wealth. And this quote from his book, wow, it just sums up his entire pitch perfectly. He says antique coin investment has almost no risk of price decline, and the investor does not need to have a discerning eye. Think about that. It's a message that's specifically designed to erase fear and make it all seem easy. No risk, and you don't even have to be an expert? That is an incredibly attractive pitch, especially for anyone who feels a bit intimidated by the whole world of investing. But here's the thing. It's not all just simple, safe stuff. For those who are willing to take on a bit more risk for a much bigger reward, he offers some more advanced strategies. And there's one in particular he calls delicious. So let's get into it. Okay, but first, a quick explainer here because this is super important. Coins are often graded. That means a third-party service authenticates them, rates their condition, and then seals them up in a plastic case called a slab. An ungraded coin, or a raw coin, is just one that hasn't gone through that process yet. It could be a hidden gem, or, it could be a dud. And this is the gambit. Ishiyama's advice is to buy these ungraded, raw European gold coins. Why European? Because unlike American coins, a lot of them haven't been sent in for grading yet. So you buy one, then you send it off to one of the top US grading services. If it comes back with a high grade, boom, its value can absolutely skyrocket. And if it fails to get a grade, well, you just sell the raw coin at an auction and try again. He's pretty clear that this is a strategy for people with, and I quote, ample time and money. He's not hiding that it's a high-risk, high-return play. Okay, so the strategy is clear, right? But what is it about this message that connects so powerfully with people? To really understand that, we have to listen to the customers themselves. And when you read what they have to say, a few key motivations really jump out. Right off the bat, It comes back to that core promise of safety. This customer, MH, just perfectly echoes the exact feeling that Ishiyama's tapping into. In a world full of so much uncertainty, just holding a beautiful, tangible coin, it gives you this powerful sense of security, a feeling that your assets are actually protected. But, it's not just about the money. Not at all. For buyers like this next customer, AH, there's this much deeper emotional connection. Think about it. Holding a real piece of history, imagining all the hands it's passed through over the centuries, that gives you a sense of, as they put it, romance and pleasure that you're just never going to get from a stock certificate. And that brings us to the final and maybe most crucial piece of the puzzle, trust. This customer, KF, sees Ishiyama as the authority, a pioneer and leading figure. And that makes sense, right? In a field that seems really complex, there's this immense comfort in just following a guide who seems to have all the answers. It's a rule of thumb for a lot of us. When you're new to something, you find the expert and you listen to what they say. And this all leads to our final, and I think most interesting point. When you actually read through what his customers are saying, it becomes crystal clear that for a lot of them, Ishiyama is way, way more than just a coin dealer. He's selling an entire worldview. I mean, just look at the full scope of his business. It goes so far beyond just coins. He's doing business consulting, he's running seminars on piercing capitalism, he's hosting, get this, 6D nonlinear operation retreats. He's selling spiritual goods like something called an Ayasaka Nigi, right next to gold bars. Suddenly, his YouTube channel talking about enlightenment doesn't feel like a side gig, does it? It's totally central to this brand that masterfully blends financial advice with a kind of spiritual lifestyle guidance. We started this whole thing by asking about financial safety. But the story of Japan's antique coin boom, it shows that an asset's value isn't just about the numbers on a spreadsheet, is it? For so many people, true value is this really complex mix of tangible security, a bit of historical romance, and maybe most of all, profound trust in a charismatic guide. And that leaves us with a final question to think about. In our own search for security, what are we really searching for?